This is episode 105, the 5-step challenge system for crushing your health goals. Welcome to Alive by Design. My name is Blake Mallon, and we're here to bring you inspiring people, principles, and practices to help you wake up, move toward your meant to, and feel fully alive. Open your mind and let's dive in. Hey guys, before you listen to the podcast, I just want to drop in and say I appreciate you for being here, and I'm super excited about this new Walk With Me series. These are solo episodes where I take some time in the middle of my morning run through the Santa Monica Mountains to share some inspired ideas and thoughts on my mind and heart. If you want to join me for any of these conversations live, you can catch me many mornings on my Facebook page, facebook.com/BlakeMallon.page. Would love to see you there. Love you guys. Enjoy the episode. Walk with me. So quick question for y'all this morning. Have you ever done a challenge, like a personal challenge, as a means or a tool of going after a health goal that you know you wanted to move toward? So this past weekend, had a lot of fun. I competed in the Malibu Triathlon on Sunday. And just had an absolute blast coming off the completion of that, kind of on a personal high. You know how it is, like when you do something that stretches you, that pushes you a little bit, you always just feel good, kind of buzzing when you're on the other side of it. And yeah, this past weekend was an awesome experience. The Malibu Triathlon, kind of a pillar in the community here locally, a big event, been going on for years and years and years and years. Was actually the third time I have done the Malibu Tri in my lifetime, although it'd been a minute since I'd done any triathlon, quite a few years. So feels really good to be back on the wagon, so to speak. And the Malibu Tri, for those of you guys that know the area or want to know the area, it's based on Zuma Beach. So kind of right on the northern end of Malibu as the hub. And the swim is in the ocean along the coast, and the bike all up through PCH, all the way up to beautiful Leo Carrillo State Beach, where the turn, the run, running southbound toward westwards, the area of kind of the famous rock. No matter where in the world you're plugging in from, I guarantee you've seen this rock in commercials and movies, and just so much of Hollywood has used this iconic area. You would recognize it. But just an awesome way to mobilize the whole community. Big event. Lot of locals come out. Kind of cool this year. I was going to do it anyway as part of a personal goal. We'll talk about that here in a minute. And then I got a message from Malibu Tri on Instagram asking if I would participate in the Celeb VIP division. It's like, are you sure you got the right account here? Definitely not something I would expect, especially here in Malibu and Los Angeles and Hollywood. But nonetheless, obviously said yes. It was a really cool experience to actually be a part of the division, as in the wave within the Tri, with all of the different quote-unquote celebs and VIPs. And it was just cool, kind of a humbling experience and honor, and all for a good cause. So it helps raise money for Children's Hospital Los Angeles, which is a great organization out here, CHLA, do amazing things for helping kids fight through illness and a lot of research. And total side note, random fact, it's actually the same organization my wife and I raised funds for via our wedding. So when we got married, we chose that organization for those that wanted to give to past donations to CHLA. So my family's actually been donators of the organization for a while. So it was cool to be able to raise some awareness, raise some funds for a great organization, and just get out, have fun, It's an amazing community builder. Everybody kind of comes out and supports. And although it was my third time doing this race, first time in a few years, it was my first time where, I had my kids on the sidelines, which was awesome. So everybody got up early. We were up at 4:30 a.m. Karis helped get the kids ready. Headed to transition area for setup at 5 a.m. and kids were troopers, and they made signs. And to be honest with you, I looked more forward to the high fives in my transition area to my son, my daughter, than anything else. It was super fun to see them cheering as I was checking in throughout the race. So that was a cool new experience for me, dad life. Parents, and it was just a blast. And, I believe sets a good example for, Grayson and Sadie as they grow older. But just an awesome experience for the try. Some of you guys are like, how'd you do? Well, yeah, I finished. Hey, come on. That was my goal, completion. No, I did pretty well. Ended up coming in 16th in the run, number 30th in the swim, and 65th in the bike. I need to work on my bike. I'll get there. In my age division, which is pretty decent. I mean, really decent considering I didn't train as much as I would have liked to, given my schedule, crazy travel, and everything we have going on with our community right now. Explosive, exciting times. But awesome day. And don't worry, I'm not here to try to talk you into doing a triathlon. Although I think all of you can and should experience it at some point, even if you start with what's called a sprint, which are very short distances, just to get out, move, have some fun, experience the energy, support the community. You can do it. All of you can do it. And it definitely is a experience that fills your cup, so to speak. But I want to talk about kind of the psychology I've used behind not only this race, but really for the last, almost 12 years. And the concept of challenges. Not challenge in the sense of obstacle, but challenge in the sense of setting a personal goal, right? Something that'll stretch you, taking on a personal challenge, challenging yourself as a means of going after health goals. And that's the conversation I want to have and get into specifically 5 key elements that I've found over doing this for 12 years now that help using personal challenges as an effective tool to move you toward whatever it is you want to accomplish. And specifically, I want to talk about health today. And there are 5 things, very simple things, but fundamental things that if you have all 5 components, I'm telling you, the odds of you not only having a challenge goal, but completing and achieving a challenge goal, I promise you will go up exponentially. So let's talk about those 5 elements today, if that's okay with y'all. Not much of a view from the top today. What do you see? A lot of clouds sitting on the top. But I'm going to sit on a good old rock here, drinking what's left of my horchata ketones this morning. And let's talk living a challenged lifestyle. So some of you guys may know this part of my story. For those of you that are new to the crew, first say hello below. Don't be shy. I want to know who's out there. Go ahead and drop a country flag below for what country you're watching and plugging in from today. If you're from the United States, what state or what city are you from? Would love to say hello below. If you are part of our tribe, welcome back. If you're new to the crew, welcome for the first time. We get together and walk together. Usually on Wednesdays, usually around this time. Walk with me Wednesday if you want to set the reminder live, and you get a chance to catch past inspired conversations on the podcast Alive by design on most podcast platforms. And the only thing I ask is that you contribute, you collaborate, you participate. Don't be just a quiet fly on the wall. Say hello below, share perspective, give feedback. That adds value to me and everybody who's walking together. Give me a thumbs up below if you can do that. So living a challenged lifestyle. So what I mean by that is over the last, like I said, almost 12 years, in order to pursue my personal health goals, I have consistently set challenge goals, right? And there's been a variety of different challenge goals that I've set in order to move myself toward accomplishing, right, whatever is on my mind as it comes to my health. And I'm going to state the obvious here. I love using the challenge framework as a way to move toward a health goal because I believe health has to be fundamental to everything we do. Without our health, we have nothing. Like literally, right? We've all gone through those moments, whether ourselves or a loved one, where, no matter how busy life was or work was or business was or kids were, or everything else going on, boom, single news from a doctor immediately reframes everything, and you realize that so much is insignificant without our optimum health. Health is what makes everything else possible. If we're in good health, we have good energy, we have good vitality, there's so much more we can get out of life, right? So health is the foundation for all of us, no matter who we are as humans, in order to pursue our potential, in order to do everything else on our vision board and goal list and everything else we dream to achieve. Health has to be a foundation. So with that said, using a personal challenge goal, I've found for me is an effective tool to go toward whatever it is I want to achieve with my health. And let's state the obvious. When it comes to health, do we all know it's important? Right? If I asked all of you, should it be a priority? We're all going to say what? Absolutely, yes. Do we even know what we should do in order to maintain, right, health? For the most part, we do, right? We know we got to eat, right? We know we got to exercise, right? We know the simple things we should do to take care of ourselves. But then you got to ask the obvious question, well, why does it constantly fall lower than it should on our priority list? Why, as not just Americans, but as people all over the world, do we continue to face, right, different health conditions, right? Do we continue to move in directions that we know are not great for us? Why do we have all this illness and disease if we know it should be a priority and we even know what we should do to go after it? And you guys, there's a million ways to answer that, but I'm going to give you one effective one. Getting good at living a challenge lifestyle is something that has worked for me, and I've watched it work for tens of thousands of people I've coached and worked with over my years as an entrepreneur, really focused in on a challenge platform. And I know it's something that can work for you when it comes to moving toward your health goal. So there's keys to doing it though. So after doing this for a long time over and over again, some of you guys may say, well, what have you done? I've used this framework to do just all kinds of crazy things. It's what moved me into doing my first triathlon right over 12 years ago, almost 12 years ago. It's what moved me to doing my first and second marathon. It's what moved me to climb Mount Whitney, the highest peak in the continental U.S. as a non-hiker and non-climber. It moved me into martial arts for my very first experience, right, ever in my life, competing in a national jiu-jitsu tournament, starting from scratch, right? These are a variety of things. It's helped me build muscle. It's helped me lean out. I've used them for weight management and muscle gain, among other things, right? So these are all different challenge goals, among others, I've done personally using the 5 elements I'm going to talk about here. So let's talk about what these are for you, okay? So 5 things, very simple. You got to go through all of them and have all of them. And if you do that, it's going to move you toward whatever it is you want to accomplish when it comes to a personal challenge goal. And again, we're talking about health here specifically today. So the first element, right? Step number 1 to being effective at challenging yourself is you have to set a goal that excites you, okay? You have to set a goal that genuinely excites you when it comes to your health, right? So often when it comes to our health goals, there's things we know we should do, but they're just not exciting. I need to lose 10 pounds, or I need to lose 20 pounds, or I need to do this, I need to do that. If you don't set a goal that you're genuinely enthusiastic about going after, you're not going to have the energy to go after it. So you can get creative. You guys, there's a million ways to get in shape. There's a million ways to eat better, right? It doesn't have to be boring, mundane, or something that you're just doing for the sake of doing or because someone told you. Set something that's going to get you moving in a direction that actually gets you excited. I lean toward different activities, right? An active lifestyle, because those activities excite me more than just what I should eat every day or how often I should go to the gym. Now, don't get me wrong. We'll talk about how those elements layer into that. But you got to set a goal that genuinely excites you to go after. Now, just for some basic education on what is a goal, guys, a goal needs to be something that is specific, right? Use the old SMART acronym, right? Specific and measurable, achievable, right? Realistic and timely. SMART, right? And all of that means it's got to be something that you can do or not do. Measurable. It's something that you're going to accomplish or not accomplish, okay? As specific as you can, and it's got to be something with a deadline. It's got to have a time frame on it, right? Goals by definition are not indefinite, so you got to have a deadline or a date, okay? So that's just the first element. You got to have a goal. It's got to excite you, okay, to move you in a direction, and it's something that you can measure. You're either going to do it or you're not going to do it, and you're going to do it by a certain time or not. It can't be vague, and it can't be just, something in obscurity for the future. Okay, so number one, in order to challenge yourself, you got to have a challenge that you're going after, right? So when it comes to your health right now, what would something be that you could get excited about going after over some period of time, right, that has some sort of finish line? Okay, and that's a challenge that you can do, and it can be only limited by your own imagination and creativity. You could have fun with this, okay? Get outside the box. So the first thing is we got to set a goal, right, that excites us and that's going to move us. Now, the second element, okay, and I'm a big fan of this, is you got to go public with that goal. See, for me, a goal is not a goal until you go public with it, right? If you have a goal, but you keep it hidden in the shadows, it's not really a goal, okay? We got to come out of the shadows and we got to go public with what we want to do. What I mean by go public is share, right, with people around you, right, your excitement. So that way there's an awareness and also an inherent accountability in the fact that you went public with whatever it is you're trying to do. Now, you decide how grand of a public scale you want to go. It might just be you go public with your spouse. Might be you go public with your family. Might be you go public with your friends circle or friends unit. Might be you go public all over your social media because you want the whole world to know that you're excited about something. In my experience, you got to go public with the goal, and the greater the visibility or the public accountability, the greater your odds of actually you sticking with that, right? And I know for some of you, you just got scared. Your blood pressure just went up. You're like, oh no, Blake, you're pushing me outside my comfort zone. But guys, health's everything, right? You decide. And if you want to start with your spouse or your family, start there. But go public with it. Tell someone you're excited about this so it creates that accountability. Okay, number 3. So we set a goal we're excited about. We went public with our goal. Number 3, well, we got to have some sort of plan. What is our strategy in order to move toward that goal? Right? And it all depends on what your goal is. That's going to depend on what your strategy is. But here's what I know. No matter your goal, I'm willing to bet someone has already done it. And no matter what challenge you have, I'm willing to bet not only has someone done it, there's probably been a lot of people that have done it. And there's probably people that have not only done it, but documented it. And there's probably people that have not only documented it, but put it in online in very detailed formats for you to go find hacks, tips, strategies, just by searching Google. As we live in a day today where information is a couple clicks away, right? So for you to find an effective strategy, it just takes the intention and the initiative to go seek, go look, right? What is the plan you want to go after? Find something that resonates with you, you think you can do. You don't have to find one thing perfectly. You can find bits and pieces, right, that you want to wrap into your own, however you want to. But guys, modeling is an effective strategy. Why have to recreate or reinvent or start from scratch when just about everything in this world has already been done, mastered, right, proven, and then put in places where it can be taught? Okay, so find a strategy. And I do this still today, even for the triathlon training. I was getting back on the wagon. I've done a few in the past, but it'd been a couple years. I went and found a training schedule on the internet just through some quick searches, and I followed it more or less, right? I didn't follow it to a T, but I took pieces that I wanted it to. I made it some days, failed other days, but it moved me in a direction, right? But you got to have a strategy, okay? So have an effective strategy, okay? Next step, so step number 4 would be do it with other people, okay? Create a community to move toward a challenge goal with you. If you can, right? Guys, it's more fun to challenge yourself when you're doing it with others. You also raise the amount of community and accountability when you have other people doing it with you. Matter of fact, there is actual behavioral economic studies that have been done over and over and prove this, that the odds of you achieving your goal more than triple when you do it with at least 3 other people. The odds of you achieving your goal more than triple when you do it with at least 3 other people, right? So if you can create a group to do something with, okay, it's going to be more fun. You're going to have more success, right? And doing anything with others always multiplies, right? The feeling, the emotion, the fun factor than doing it by yourself. And sometimes you can't. You guys, yesterday I did the triathlon by myself, right? I had a couple friends that were thinking about doing it, but when it came down to it, nobody did the triathlon with me yesterday. I was out there with my family support and, a massive, awesome community, but I did it anyway, right? But more of my challenges in the past have always been with small groups of people, sometimes big groups of people. It's a blast, right? So rally some people, and you guys, you'll be impressed. Which once you do those first couple steps, you set a goal you're excited about, you go public with it, you put together a strategy, you create an inspiration, right? Your motion or action creates an inspiration. What happens is people will actually get inspired by what you're doing and say, I want to do it with you anyway. So sometimes you extend an invitation, sometimes you just lead through inspiration, but you're going to inspire other people to say, hey, I want to do that. That happened yesterday, right after I finished my race. I had a bunch of people reach out after seeing it on social and Instagram saying, wow, I want to do something like that, right? Your action can inspire others to pursue their own potential. Okay, so I said there were 5 elements. We've covered 4. Last one, celebrate, right? Celebrate, right? Once you've moved forward, right? Once you're making progress, once you move toward that goal. And guys, sometimes you'll hit the goal right on the head, right? Sometimes you'll overshoot it. Sometimes you won't hit it. It doesn't matter. The point is progress, not perfection, right? Celebrate you moving toward that goal. Honor yourself, right? Celebrate the victories and celebrate the wins, right? So 5 simple elements that I think are important when it comes to the core foundations of challenging yourself. And just because we're here, I'm going to give you a bonus, okay? A bonus that I think layers into all 5 that I just went through. So a bonus number 6, take your goal and your excitement, go public, take that strategy, right, that you're going to model, take that group, right, that you're going to wrap yourself around, take the celebration that you're going to do along the way, and try to layer all of those into some sort of daily habits that if you do every day, the odds of you moving toward that goal go up. And chunk them down into daily habits, simple daily habits. And guys, at the end of the day, you're going to find that daily habits are the foundation that's going to move you toward all of that achievement. And this applies, guys, to, I guarantee you, any challenge goal you have here. So layer it with some daily habits. And some days, guys, you'll do more, some days you'll do less, but it's the consistency that's key. And we'll get you across that finish line. So guys, there's a framework on challenging yourself as it comes to your health. It's something that I've done personally over and over and over again successfully. So I know this works. It's something that I've given to individuals all over the world through challenge platforms and seen them succeed. And it's something I want to give to all of you guys as a gift here today. Coming off a fun victory for myself in the Malibu Tri, and just a framework that I want to pass on to you for whatever your health goals are. So here's a view from the top, not much of one today. And I hope today's information inspires you, right, to set that challenge goal and challenge yourself, because you are worth it. Your health is worth it. You do deserve it. And to feel alive and pursue potential, we need the energy and the health within us, right, in order to move, right, efficiently in a direction every single day. And I know this framework will work for all of you. So with that, guys, hey, here's to challenging yourself. Have an amazing, amazing week. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Hey guys, one last thing. I'm super excited that this new podcast, Alive by Design, just went live. You see, I designed the show to bring you inspired thoughts and fascinating conversations with the world's most impactful people, to provide transformative principles and practices to help you wake up, move toward your meant to, and feel fully alive. And I'd love for you to help me spread the word now. Simply subscribe, rate, and review the podcast on this platform right now.
So if I've ever given you value, please do me this personal favor and go subscribe now. And if you found today's episode helpful in any way, make sure you share this with at least one friend today. You have the power right now to change someone's day. So send them a text message with a link to alivebydesign.com, or simply copy and paste the link right from this podcast platform. Who's one person you know right now that you want to see succeed, that you want to see grow, that you want to see feel more alive? Shoot them a text with your largest takeaway from today and be a light in their day. And if you were referred here by a friend, make sure you shoot them a text back and say thank you. I'd love to hear from you directly on what you got from today's podcast. So if you're up for it, drop by my Instagram @BlakeMalin and shoot me a DM. And as always, thank you for showing up. I'm grateful for you, and I hope our time together today in some small way helped you feel a little more alive. Until next time.